Hi, welcome to PHP, the Hypertext Preprocessor. In this first session, we'll be discussing about what exactly PHP is, okay, and how to write a simple PHP program. So PHP usually stands for Hypertext Preprocessor. It is an open source scripting language, and it is one of the most popular scripting language. If you really type into Google PHP and you try to look into the job perspective, you can see that a lot of openings are there in PHP, right? And if you look into that also, you'll find as it is an open source, we have a very big community, okay, who will be helping you in any aspect when you are actually learning PHP. So as PHP is a scripting language, and it is also executed on the server side itself, okay. So originally PHP was created by a Danish Canadian programmer. His name is Lamas Lardov in 1994. And in PHP, originally it stood for personal homepage, but now now we call PHP in a hypertext preprocessor. The latest version of PHP is PHP 8, which has been released on November 26, 2020. Okay. And it has the major version has some breaking changes from the previous version itself. Okay. So why PHP? So why PHP has so much of other than it's an open source, and it has been started as one of the abstract scripting language on the server side. But some of the very interesting facts of PHP is that it helps us to generate dynamic pages. We can easily collect data the data from the form from the HTML perspective. If you see, right, HTML, you create a form, right, and you want to send some information to the server side, and through PHP you can easily collect that particular data itself. So it is easy to handle the cookies, okay, and through PHP you can easily do all kind of manipulation like addition, deletion, modification in the database itself, okay. It can encrypt the data. One of the most important thing is easy to learn and program, okay, and since it is an open source, and you can get a lot of big communities, and also it runs in a different platform as well. So that's the reason why PHP has a very important important scripting language in the web technology itself. So in this particular lecture, entire thing we'll be dealing with PHP 7. So let me tell you, it is one of the also the version of PHP which is very popular now and most stable, okay, and it is faster than 4.6. And error handling has been improvised in PHP 7 and all. We're going to see that in the subsequent session when we're discussing it. Okay, it supports some sticker type of declaration for function arguments and all, and support new operator like spaceships operator and all. So when we will be discussing operators, we'll be talking about spaceship operator and all. So certain in a nutshell, we're talking about the new thing that has been added in PHP 7. Okay, so what is PHP file? Typically, if you have worked in C programming, like HTML and all, we see that is an extension, right? So C has an extension .c, C++ has an extension C++, HTML has HTML or HTM. Like that, PHP also an extension of .php, .php3 or .phtml. But the most popular extension that has been used is a .php. In this context, I like to share you something that whenever you're working on a project, so you please always keep in mind that you should always follow one particular extension itself. Say we are following .php, that means you should follow only .php. That's helping maintaining the consistency, right? So typically, PHP syntax are mostly been based on the C, Java, and Perl. You will going to see like a comment when we are discussing, it's most likely in C. And creating a PHP file is similar to that of creating an HTML file itself, right? And in fact, most PHP file are a mixture of PHP code and HTML itself. Okay, so now how are you going to create a simple PHP file? You can head your favorite editor itself, and you can type some PHP code and save this as a .php extension. I just like to show you. Okay, let me go back to my okay, this is jam server so okay, let me okay, so I went into my notepad. Okay, so you can see, you can save this at simple dot php, right? So title php is the simple program. Okay, so that's a simple text I'm just displaying. Echo gear up for welcomes use for php programming. Okay, so this something which I have used as a notepad itself. And for this particular entire session, I request all of you to install jam. You install the later version with the 7, which this is on the older version 5.6. okay, so you'll have that Apache and MySQL. Okay, if you want, we can install that. So I'm starting my Apache server itself. Okay, so okay, so my Apache server is done. So what I will go now to my waves. Okay, right. So here I already have that localhost host where I'm storing that. Okay, I simply move to that simple program. Okay, so it is redundancy gear up welcomes you for PHP program. Now let me say you one thing that's very interesting. So whatever program that you did, this is on the server side. Why we took the local host? Because it is on the same machine, right? So it is acting like a server, also acting like a client itself. So now here you see getafo.com, right? So my code in the server side is this, right? Where I have stored it, you see, I have stored some inside my jam folder, right? So if you see, so yeah, right, jam htdoc, I create one folder, mca, right, and inside that I have stored this particular simple.php itself. Okay, so you can see that it is under the jam folder itself, right? So now this is on in my server side. Now on the browser, I'm just typing this, as I showed you, localhost, because this is something which is there inside in the same nature itself. So simple.php, it gives me the output as this. Now here in this code, you see this is the PHP program which is written on server side. But whenever the program will be executed and the server will be sending back to the browser, it will send nothing but the HTML page itself. So if you right click here and if you see the view code, okay, see this is simple HTML code. So the browser is actually taking the HTML code because the server is sending nothing but not the PHP file, thus corresponding the HTML file, and as a result you can see this is the what exactly the output is, right? Okay, so that's what simple that this is the program itself. Okay, so let us now see, let us put some command line and let us see okay how it goes. So it is typically like C program. So I like this is a single line comment. Okay, so let me have a multiple line comment. All right, this is a multiple line comment. Presenter. Okay, star slash. Okay, let me save it. Okay, fine. So already it is up. Let me go back. Okay, right, so I get the output. Okay, so let me see what happens. Did I get the comments here? No, because comments will not never get executed, so it will not never comes back in this browser itself. Okay, but you can see in the server side we have this. Okay, so these lines are never get executed, so this is executed and converted into the HTML file. So that is what you have seen here, the code itself and the output here, right? So right, so these are the some keywords of PHP. So when we will be working with PHP, so each of them will be working on each of this particular keyword and will understand how does this particular work itself, right? So a simple program practice I've given you. Okay, so I will be just simply holding it for around 30 seconds, so you can look into this, and then you can start opening a new PHP file and start coding it. So happy coding. Okay, so certain quiz, one questions. Identify PHP editors. Which one is your PHP editors? Just think for 2 seconds. Yeah, if you have think correctly, it is nothing but the Notepad, Notepad++, and Adobe Remover. Okay, thank you.